Gun Freak Nation, how y'all doing out there? I hope y'all being safe and savage ready. This channel, I think I started doing like gun related home invasion stuff like what was it, like 2018, 2017, 2018. This channel originally started off as a beat making, channel. That's my producer name, TElectrik. As you can see, I'm in my little home studio right here. Baby, close that door. And keep Nunu out if his ass want to keep on, in and out. Close that door for me, if you don't mind. This channel started off as a beat making channel, and gradually it turned into home invasions, man. It was inspired by a couple of channels, man. Big L Gun Fun. Big L Gun Fun and Big Guns and damn, I forget the name of it, man. But those are the main two channels that sparked the idea, But I've done hundreds and hundreds of home invasion videos throughout the years, like some of y'all been following me before this even became Gun Freak Nation. Why I started calling it Gun Freak Nation before it was Gun Freak Nation was a beat that I did. For those who know, you know. But one thing I don't think I ever touched on, one topic I think I never talked about, the aftermath of a home invasion. Some people, it's crazy. If you have survived a home invasion, if you have survived one, you're still not safe. Somebody reached out to me. Somebody reached out to me the other day through email, and they had to move, man, because their house got shot up. Not because the intruders did it, the home invaders did it, but because the family members of the savages came and shot their house up. So you dealing with the aftermath, and I wanna just touch on some of the possibilities of what can happen. Number one, I hear some people say the minute let me say this. The minute that a savage stepped foot in your house, put them down. I want to touch on something. I say depending on the circumstances. If that savage is coming in there armed and they ready to, of course they break it in your house. All right? That's number one. They break it in your house. 9 out of 10 they're going to be armed. You got every right to, I know here in Michigan, we have stand your ground. We got the castle doctrine, right? Which means we don't have the duty. We don't have to retreat. We can stand and defend our homes, okay? How can I say this? I'm not one of those type of people that the minute that you step foot in my house, it's a license for me to unalive you. That's just not in my heart. I don't want to take a life. I don't want to have to take a life. I will take one, unalive someone if you're trying to unalive me or do harm to me and my family, okay? Or any of my loved ones, okay? I'm not one, okay, the minute you breach my door, breach my window, then that's my license. That's not my goal. My goal is to survive and put the threat down. if you know, I've encountered people, yeah. As soon as they come in, I'm laying in wait. I'm gonna shoot they funky, I'm gonna shoot they funky asses. I'm gonna send them to Funky Town T. I promise you, they ain't gonna leave. You know what I'm saying? And that I like, bro, chill out on that, man. You starting to sound like a savage your damn self. I'm not that type. Especially if I see that you don't have a gun and that you turning your stinking ass around and you trying to run. I've even had people say, "Hey, I don't give a fuck if them savages if they running. It's still too late. Too bad for their ass. They shouldn't have never broke in the first fucking place. I'm popping them regardless. I'm sending them to Funky Town regardless. It's legal." You have to look at, you cannot do that. The legalities are involved. Once the autopsy come in and the report says that they were shot in the back, anybody that's facing, anybody that's trying to run to escape you, they ain't no threat. And the prosecutors, especially these liberal anti-gun prosecutors, they gon' eat you alive in court. You better have a Tony Montana Scarface lawyer to get out of that, because you gotta explain why you shot somebody in their back when they was trying to run. Even though they have broke in your house, you still, it's gotta be a self-defense situation. That's just like somebody, oh yeah, I had a shootout, but the person was all the way at the corner, all the way damn near half a block away, and you having a shootout. That's no longer a self-defense situation. You can't shoot someone in the back. Prepare for the legalities, because you are responsible for every bullet that leaves that that barrel. You are responsible for every time you pull that trigger, you responsible for that bullet. And if it indicate that they were shot in the back, it ain't looking good for you. Number one, I don't want to unalive nobody. Now, the number one we apply to that scenario is, well, you better get them now, because if you don't get them now, they gonna come back and get you. Well, okay. My reply to that is, it's a reason why they run, especially if they got a gun. If they ain't willing to duke it out and bang it out with you right then and there, and they run and they trying to get the fuck up out of your house, then what make you think they gonna come back? Who knows? Maybe they will. But 9 out of 10, if you got them scared to the point to where they ready, they diving through a window to get the fuck up out of there because they know you got that Funky Town Center, then 9 out of 10, they ain't gonna fuck with you no more. They ain't coming back because they know you got the Funky Town Centers, and they ain't. Guess what? They not trying to get sent to Funky Town, right? So. But my number one, the people say, well, get them now, so you ain't got to get them later because they're going to come back and get you. Well, guess what? If they do be stupid enough to come back to get you, to try to get you, then they deserve what they get. And you know what time it is. You know what time it is. If you see them again trying to come back, then yeah, you got to put them down. You got to. They definitely returning to try to do harm to you. So you play stupid games, you're gonna win stupid prizes, right? You play stupid games, you win stupid prize. Now I know I'm gonna have some people in the comments disagreeing with me. Yeah, they break in my house. That's it. I don't give a damn. I'm sending them to Funky Town. It's consequences to your actions. Just because somebody break in your house, it doesn't mean that you become the judge, jury, and executioner, man. You got to face legalities. But what this video is really about is the aftermath. Someone reached out to me. They said their house got, I granted, they sent a savage to Funky Town, right? Savage came up in there, armed with a gun, And they did what they had to do. And I applaud them because it would have been the other way around. You feel me? It would have been the other way around. Better them than you, right? But the family or friends or whatever, they found out the location. They shot the house up to the point to where they didn't feel safe no more, man. They had to move. You know what I'm saying? They had to move. Their house was being shot up. They was targeted because, you know, you're gonna always have a family member. Oh, ooh, you didn't have to send him to Funky Town. You didn't have to shoot him. Why did you shoot him? Well, you know what? Your family member broke in my house, okay, with a gun, and was probably gonna unalive me or do horrible things to me. I don't play that shit. So yeah, you're gonna get dealt with the proper way. But the family of the savage, they not gonna see it that way. They gonna say, hey man, that's our loved one. You could have just shot him in the toe. You could have just shot him in the foot, in the leg. You didn't have to send him to Funky Town. You didn't have to unalive him. You know, it's always some fuck shit involved. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta be prepared for the aftermath, man. Because number one, that $2,000 gun you got, if you decide to use that one or whatever, man, it's gonna get took. And at that point, you're gonna need a gun more than ever because you don't know what his family is like. All I know is that they coming for you. So the home invasion is just the first part of it. The aftermath, you still gonna have a target on your back. More than likely, you're gonna have a target on your back. Some, you know, the savage's family gonna want get back. They're gonna want to retaliate. They're gonna want revenge. You're gonna have to look over your shoulder, watch over your shoulder. You need to be keeping your head on the swivel regardless. But it's legalities involved. You're gonna lose your gun. Your gun gonna be sitting in evidence, and they may not, you know, give it back to you. Hell, I had one stolen 5, 6, 7 years ago, and they finally recovered it, and they won't let me get it back. Talking about I gotta hire a lawyer for my own shit, and I got to explain why I want my gun back, even though I legally bought it. So everything is stacked up against us. You know what I'm saying? The whole system is stacked up against us. But what I want to know from y'all, Gunfreak Nation, if y'all have to pull that trigger on one of these stinking wild ass savages, man, you got to be ready for the aftermath. And that's the family of the savage finding your location and trying to target you. So my thing is, who wants to live in that situation where your house potentially can get shot up, or you got to look over your shoulder whenever you step out in the world? You got to be, it's an uncomfortable situation. So I understand why they had to move, because their house got shot up not one time, but 2 times. And the police they didn't do shit about it, man. You know, it's a crazy, crazy world that we living in. And I cannot stress this enough. I cannot stress this enough. If you have a home defense weapon, a go-to weapon, please put a flashlight on. Never mind a laser. Put a flashlight on it, because these savages have gotten so clever, man. They pulling your meter. They got cell phone jammers and stuff. I was watching my brother James Walker live earlier tonight, man. He said they got some shit now that jams the police communications and stuff, and jam their cars and shit where they can't even get in their car. This shit is crazy, man. But I cannot express this enough. You need to get a flashlight mounted on your firearm, on your home defense firearm for the simple fact you want to properly ID your target. I remember years ago, over 10 years ago, 20 years ago, man, this had to be like in 90, 94, 95. I heard about, well, not heard about, it was on the news, the most saddest situation where a young girl snuck out of her house to go to a party, and how she snuck out through a window, and how she snuck back in. She came back in through that window and was unalived by her own father. And when he did the interview, he said his dying daughter's last words were, "It's okay, Dad. I love you. I love you." And she took her final breath, and that broke that man's heart, man, because he did not have a flashlight on his gun. And he was just blindly shooting in the dark. So yeah, get a flashlight. Get a flashlight on your gun, man, because it's very important. Very important. Another thing, people say, including me, I'm guilty of it myself. If you pull it, you better use it. Well, you know what? That's stupid too. If it depends on the situation. What if you hear a bump in the night, right? And you pull your gun and you seeing who it is. You're doing a search in your house because you pull it. You got to use it now against your drunk neighbor that done broken, thinking he breaking in his house because he done got drunk and lost his keys. So he breaking in his own house, but he really breaking in your house, but because, you don't pull it, you gotta use it now. No, that's stupidity, man. Now, if you in this altercation and you having a heated argument and that person you feel about to pull their gun, then you pull yours, you better use it. Because here in Michigan, you can't just this ain't the 80s and 90s no more where you can just pull your gun and be like, "Motherfucker, what's up? What time it is now, motherfucker? What you gonna do, motherfucker?" You can't, that shit will get you killed, and the person that unalived you ain't gonna do no kind of jail time. Because guess what? You pulled yours first. You pulled yours first. So many people have got killed doing that stupid shit. It ain't to be fucked with, man. If you in one of them type of situations, when you pull that motherfucker, it's either, hey man, it's kill or be killed. That's the way you got to look at it. But you can't have that mentality just because you pulling it, because you hear, find out, identify the target first. All right. But yeah, man, the aftermath, it can be of a home invasion. It could be more crazier than the actual home invasion, But anyway, Gunfreak Nation, I just want to hear y'all thoughts, man, on this. You know what I'm saying? Y'all opinions. Leave them in the comment section, man. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? Share the video. I love you, Gunfreak Nation. Listen, stay armed. Stay responsible with your firearm. Stay righteous. And be ready to send that savage to Funky Town if he try you. Salute to y'all. Love you.